Everybody, drum roll! Yes, this is the most exciting part of the whole Biennale. We're going to the awards in 15 minutes. Monique van Dusseldorp here with the last MAB Live, our little talk show, the behind the scenes of the Biennale. Awards, awards, awards. If you haven't done so yet, go check the website and the page about the awards and you see the whole history of the awards. You see the facades and then you see the light clouds and then you see the new connections and the city bug reports, and it's super, super interesting. Who do we have here? First of all, Gerno. We spoke to each other before. You are, of course, not just the social designer at Reality Lab and a curator of many events. You are also a co-founder of the MA Institute, the Biennale, and you made this award happen. So tell us about your personal history.
Thanks. Yeah, so actually the first Biennale took place in Vienna, and there we had not an award, and we thought it would be really cool to attract more people and the broader public. And therefore, we thought, well, an award could be an appropriate means for that. And yeah, so we invented it somehow in first time in 2012. And in fact, it attracted a lot of people. And it turned also out to be very effective in attracting designers and architects.
And it's an interesting thing about the award. I mean, awards are great, you know, any event you do an award, because you have press, you have nominations, you can send press releases out 10 times and reach out to the world. But in this case, the award also is sort of at the foundation of a sort of a family, right?
Yes, indeed. Actually, so many of those designers, architects and groups that have won the award or have been nominated or have contributed to the project, they became, as I would say, part of the family. Yes, yeah. They kept on contributing to the Biennale. They were speakers or they made workshops, and so the family grew and grew. Also,
so it's a super important part of the Biennale.
Yeah, actually. Actually, it's really good that this family is growing. And for me, it's also important to say it's not only the winners that we really appreciate; it's also the beginners. So everyone is invited to become a part of that family.
But I must say, I mean, I was going through, you know, some of the winners and nominees of previous years. It is definitely also a place where new ideas and new talent comes to the fore. I mean, I saw names there, really big names now. Refika Nadol was there, and I saw buildings there that I frequented, you know, the St. Pauli bar. And so, you know, what is new at the beginning, very quickly through the award becomes shared across the world, right?
Yeah, I think, for example, Refika Nadol, I met him on a bus first time, so now he's a real big star.
Bit of a superstar,
yeah,
yeah, he is.
Amazing. And for me, it was also very, an inspiring thing to meet UN Studio, people from UN Studio or Realities United, and so yeah, that was really awesome to meet these people and to learn that they are also interested what we are doing, and that they became part of the Biennale also in the last years.
Yeah. If you look at the awards now, what strikes you? What is surprising to you, or what is missing? What is new?
Mm-hmm. I would say, first of all, the number. Yeah, it's the biggest number of contributions that we ever had. We had more than 120. And there was the most of them were in the category spatial media art. That's also interesting. And I think a lot of them were in any way responsive or dealt with urban interaction. And I think that's a real good trend, and I really hope that this trend is going on. Maybe also something I like very much is that we really got to the point that where we have a zero energy media facade now in place. For years it was a concept, but now it has really become a reality.
Well, and I mean, if you look at the facades, I mean, I only see these things in my Facebook feed, I must say. But the facades are getting bigger and bigger as well if you look at all the technology that becomes available, right? I mean, it's only one part of the award and it's only one part of the system, but the technology has been very generous towards making new things, making programmable LEDs, and there's a lot going on in that field as well.
Yeah, indeed. But at the end of the day, I think it's also the social and cultural progress that we have to make in order to integrate this new technology in our daily urban life. I think that's really most important, and there's also a lot of projects dealing with that aspect.
Yeah.
I like
that. So this move from the visually overwhelming to the socially relevant is taking place right now.
Exactly, and I think also this Biennale was really a huge step forward, integrating these social aspects, this urban development perspective. Yeah, that was very, very important.
Well, just one look ahead. Going from here, is there anything you wish for the award that should be added or that should be, change, or except for more and better, of course, but yeah.
I think I really liked the idea of a student award, and so that was really a good step into that right direction, integrating more the young students and the upcoming artists and designers. Yeah, and I think we really need them, and there is I think these media architecture projects are also dealing with complexity in a way, and that is kind of a training also how to deal with future complex problems like urban development or climate change, and so
the complexity of a smaller project is actually learning about complexity on a bigger scale. Yeah,
we have so multidisciplinary teams, and so this kind of teamwork that can also be transferred to other kind of complex problems, I think.
A lot of things to do yet. Thank you so much for starting it. And let's see how it's going to continue. All these entries, where did they come from? I'm going to speak to my next guest because Arch Daily is one of the magazines, one of the publications that really promoted the award. Jeroen Junte is here with me. He's a design journalist. He has interviewed a lot of the award nominees. He also is the author of a design travel guide, and he writes about slavery and history. He's got a broad interest. But you're very much also writing about how media architecture is changing our cities. What struck you when you interviewed the nominees?
Well, first of all, let me add to that as a journalist, I also really like award shows. Because, award shows make my life a little bit easier. Because you get all these new projects and they're very, 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 briefly categorized.
They're not only selected, but they're also like concise descriptions.
Exactly, yeah.
It's true, it's a big thing.
Well, as a journalist, I write about creative industry. So that's from design to fashion to architecture, all the creative disciplines with a strong focus on design. And actually, it was my first in-depth encounter with media architecture. I knew most of the projects, I've seen them already, but I didn't know they were all called media architecture. So that was sort of a homecoming for me. And then, that's the funny part of it, then you see all the connections between the different nominees. Okay, that's participatory, that deals with the interaction, that's about future trends, that's about more like the technology, the modern human, one of the newer categories. So it's not only for me, and I think for the broader audience as well, another introduction of all these cool projects. But it's also like a short introduction into, what media architecture can be.
And can be, yeah.
And having said that, answering your question, what struck me is the diversity of the discipline. It ranges from, like real architecture. For example, if I can name an example, one of the nominees that struck me is Night Skies. It's in the middle of Frankfurt. Yeah, there's a picture. And what struck me about it, there's actually an absence of media. It's just architecture in itself. So media architecture can even be just architecture.
Yeah.
And on the other end, it's a nominee of one of the earlier editions, the Shenzhen Barometer, which is a skyscraper in Shenzhen, one of the biggest cities near Hong Kong. The building itself is not really interesting. I don't want to go in depth into an architectural review, but I think the building itself is not exciting. But the building is used as a canvas for media. So the building is actually, the architecture is lacking, and it's all about the media. So that's the whole range and everything in between that you see in these
I also looked
awards.
at all those examples. I mean, I think it's really interesting that there's a next step even. Now, first the buildings get bigger, so the canvas for meaning and lights and visuals get bigger. But now you have, of course, these shows where there's all kinds of drones or small drones flying in the air. So they move away from the building. They become 3D in the middle of our cities.
And is it still media? And I think that's when the magic happens, when architecture changes a little bit, becomes out of the building, and media becomes out of the screen and the text and the literal message. And when those two intervene, then something, like really new happens. And what struck me is that the strongest, in my opinion, nominees that I saw are the ones where the media and the architecture interact and create something new, which isn't actually architecture. It's not actually media. It's
really this
it's media architecture.
And I love the term media architecture as well, because it gives an umbrella. And if you look at it over the years, I mean, first it was big facades with lights, and now it is, bio-based building materials and autonomous creatures going through the city. But because there's an umbrella, it gives a platform for all these people to meet, all these people that are interested in, how is this going to affect our cities and our lives.
Exactly. Yeah, and the impact it has.
Is there anything you saw that struck you as completely new?
Well, a project that I really liked is the Uptown Underground. It's in the New York subway, and in a very low-key way. This is not Google operating this or one of the bigger companies. It's just a couple of tech freaks from New York, and they project on the ceiling of a underground station or a train. Mm-hmm. They project what you see above. So it's real-time coverage of what you see above. So you're going underground.
Yeah.
And you
can see if it's raining or...
Well, I don't know if it's real footage, but you're connected to the city again. Because normally when you go underground, you sort of detach. You detach from the city. And now you sort of reconnected to the city. So it's enlarging the scope of architecture. I find that one of the more interesting projects, the idea of it, and it's been done in different ways at the nominees. I think in Helsinki Airport, also one of the nominees. Yeah. There's projections of nature, but this is the real-time thing. What I really like. We're all going to check
this one, Anna. We don't know who are the winners because, of course, only in 3 minutes the real ceremony will start. Well, thank you so much for your comments. And we have one last guest, and that's Morgana Braga. You're the communication manager of this whole event. You've been working on this for a long, long time. And you have a short presentation, very short, about what has happened on social media, Discord. Tell us.
Yes, it's been really great to see all the interesting interactions that's been going on our Discord platform that we've been using in this edition of MAB as a networking tool, let's say, for the community to interact and get to know each other and collaborate. So I just brought a few examples of interesting interaction, fruitful interactions that had happened. So for instance, a lot of people are asking questions for speakers on the channels, and that leads up to interesting discussions and people sharing their perspectives on a particular topic. Also sharing literature. So if you are doing a PhD and you are looking for interesting literature or looking for case studies for your research, or you're working on a project, join us on Discord. Ask questions to the community. Maybe somebody there has a good tip for you. Also, a lot of people have been pitching their projects, which is great, because then we share all the amazing projects that are being created by the community. And the good news is we are keeping Discord open.
This is news.
Exactly.
This is news.
We're keeping it open for the next 2 years until the next MAB. So as a place where the community can gather, can meet each other, connect, network, and then potentially collaborate, creating new projects, new research.
So everybody out there, go there, schedule your own meetings and clubs and, chat. And it is a lovely place to hang out, actually.
Yes.
Hangout channel of the MAB community. Yes. Oh, that's wonderful news. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for, as I said, the most exciting part of this whole week, and that's the award ceremony. And I'm going to say goodbye to you now, and the award team will take over.
Good afternoon, everyone, or I'm saying good afternoon, but that's good afternoon in Amsterdam, where I am now, but maybe where you are, it's not the afternoon. But I'm happy everyone is here, and this is exciting, because this is also kind of what we've been waiting for, right? The awards. And I'm not alone today on the table. You already met Gernot just a few seconds ago, and I also have Martijn de Waal with me today. And very important, the golden envelopes. There I have all the winners. But before we get there, we also want to introduce all the jury members. And Gernot, you have their names and who they are, because there are a lot of them, 18, right?
Right, they are 18.
Yeah.
And they have been chosen such that they represent the diversity of the field of media architecture. So we have people from the art and public space curators, such as Susa Popp from Public Art Lab or Tanja Raven-Ark. Also myself from the Media Architecture Institute. Then there's also people from the industry, like Tag Klein from Media Facade LTD. There's designers. Some of them even won an award in earlier.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So you can be a judge later.
Like Filippo Lodi from UN Studio or Jason Bruce. Many of the jury members come from academia, like Martijn de Waal or Frank Surenberg. They come from the University of Applied Sciences in Amsterdam. Then we have Martin Tomic and Luc Espanyol from the University of Sydney, Aba Fatah from the University College in London, Henk Heusler from University of North South Wales, Dave Colangelo from Ryerson University, Martin Brunsko from Aarhus University, Glenda Coldwell, Queensland University, and Zhang Zigang from Beijing from the Central Academy of Fine Arts. And there's also people at an early stage of the academic career, PhD candidates like Marius Hogenmüller and Juan Carvajal from the Media Architecture Institute that also created the student award that we have met yesterday.
Yeah, so diverse. I can imagine when there are 18 of you, like from all over the world, and everyone is doing something else, then it's pretty hard to pick a winner, right?
Indeed.
I bet that wasn't easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Martijn, you are the general chair, and what is the importance of the award? Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, well, for me, I mean, the award show is basically where it all comes together, right? Because the whole week we've been talking, discussing, dissecting, deconstructing media architecture. What is it? What does it do? How do people react to it? How do you design it? But I think the awards are sort of the state of the art of the projects that are actually being made, that are actually being implemented in the cities. And yeah, for me, that's really exciting to see.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because can you tell us a little bit more about the prize? We talked about it yesterday. You know, I'm really excited about it. But can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, well, usually when we have the award show, the people get a trophy, some sort of an award. But what do you give to people who are actually not here, but who are joining us through Zoom? So we came up with this idea to design a virtual award for them, or actually an augmented reality award. So we have asked the augmented reality artist Sander Veenhoff from the Netherlands to design an award in augmented reality that people can watch. And I think we have a little movie clip of it, so we can briefly explain how it works. The awards are actually registered as non-fungible tokens on the Tezos blockchain. So it's only owned by one person, and it's the winners who will get the password of this particular account. But anybody can see it. And what happens when you see it on your screen, you open up an AR browser, and you look around in the world. And then what you see here is basically, it's actually a mess. because the awards are made that they have individual components, but only if you're at one particular spot in the world, then you will see the award in its completion. So here you see the person is walking through space. This is actually near the house of the augmented reality designer Sander Veenhoff. And if he's in one particular spot, then all the blocks come together, and that's where you can really show.
You also see it moving the closer he gets.
Right. So you can watch it in New York, but it will look very messy. You can watch it in Australia, it'll look very messy. So you have to come to Amsterdam and Utrecht to actually appreciate your award in its fullest.
Yeah, but that sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all of you, winners, nominees, you're invited to join us at some point in time and check out your award here.
Yeah, that is so cool. I didn't even know that it would be a mess first, and then when you're actually here in Amsterdam and Utrecht, you really have your award. So if you really want to have it, you should come here. Yesterday we also talked to Sander, and I already tried if it's possible that I can steal an award. It's not possible. So if it's yours, it's actually yours. And after you got it, you can do whatever you want with it, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, you own the ownership rights to it, and that's registered on the blockchain, the Tezos blockchain, which is actually quite low in energy consumption. But yeah, you cannot really steal that.
No.
So
too bad for me.
Too bad for you.
Okay. Well, then we're already ready for the first category, and that is animated architecture. And we have, if I'm correct, as a jury member, Ava Vata here, because all the juries are also online. Ava, are you there?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Hey. Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. It's
Good.
Great to be here.
Yeah. Can you explain us something about the category?
Yeah, so animated architecture is actually a very classic category within Media Architecture Biennale. And it mainly showcases the building and the building facade, the skin of the building, and various creative designs in relation to the integration of various lighting sources around this. And designers are searching for sort of creative ways to integrate various sources, but also to kind of find new solutions for new ways to perceive the buildings, either through light, through sound, and I hope in the future also perhaps through smell. Also the sort of the intention is more and more, for example, to look for perhaps bringing new meaning through this new media, or even bring out new experiences in relation to the building. So we see, I mean, it could be quite passive, but also we see more and more sort of responsive solutions, perhaps interactive, and even sometimes the building parts themselves, they move. So what we call kinetic architecture. So there are varieties of interpretations towards animated architecture.
Yeah, it can go any way. Well, let's have a look at the nominees. already there. Well, I wanted to just open the envelope and make it really exciting and nervous for you, all of you. But Niels, you already saw it. I'm still going to open the envelope and see if it's really there. Animated. Wait, I really have to look close. Yeah. It's correct. Niels, congratulations. And can you tell us what was challenging in this project?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. And first of all, I would also like to congratulate my fellow nominees. I think these are beautiful, excellent projects and really make the whole category stand out. So well done. Look, what was challenging on this project? We're in Australia. We are still right in the middle of our pandemic and dealing with the pandemic. And I think that has been one of the major challenges of entire project, really, working in a really complex technology space and being the sort of victim of delivery timeframes that are, unable to be met. Yet, luckily, we had a client, the University of Melbourne, and we had a builder, Lend-Lease, who were very accommodating and very sort of, receptive to all of these issues that we faced along the way.
Yeah. And do you intend to apply these solutions also to other projects?
Not really, I think, and that's really where this project really stands out. I think the digital bricks work very well in the environment that they are currently built into Melbourne Connect and Science Gallery Melbourne. Each of these bricks tells a specific story about the site and the history of that location specifically. Look, one day, of course, we might go down to our local DIY store and buy a digital brick and build it into our own homes, of course. But there is, of course, something really unique and bespoke about how they are configured and designed for Science Gallery Melbourne.
Yeah, can imagine. Well, still hope that would be possible one day.
We can send you one.
But don't make promises, because I remember stuff like this. I'm going to keep you to it. Ava, can you tell me something about what the judges thought about the winner?
Yeah, I think one of the elements, and as Niels mentioned, it's actually a very unique project, and it brings a sort of set of various qualities around it. So there's a combination, of course, of technology, so the screens themselves, but also there is the architectural dimension, and it's much more sort of a poetic one. The brick glass themselves, they are handmade, handcrafted in Venice, and they have certain qualities and also how they reflect light. And they bring out sort of a depth around the material itself, but also material properties and the solutions. So the team has sort of set up an innovative solution in order to look at clay, brick, digital screens, and how they bond together. How would the glass bricks sit in the cavity of the walls themselves? And in addition, there is the other dimension, which is the meaning, as we heard from Niels. So there's an attempt to link these bricks to the site of the building itself, to the history of the site through mediation, through the screen content. And I understand also the content was developed in collaboration with Aboriginal communities. We had also a paper in the conference about the development of the content by a curator. So these are kind of very unique parameters coming together in order to, come up with an outcome, which according to Niels also, they wanted to be unique and not necessarily replicated in the future.
Yeah. And Gernot, if I can ask you, what do you find really special about this project? Yeah, actually, like Eva said, there's this really outstanding combination of high-tech, For example, the screens are really high-tech. And on the other hand, you have this very natural materials like brick or glass. And you have also this element of handcrafted glass bricks in combination with this high-tech screens. So that makes it really so special. And I think
And it comes very simple and sensual.
Yeah.
But behind it is a really complex project that with a lot of experts and dealing with that kind of complexity in such a simple way is really outstanding in my impression.
Yeah. Well, Niels, you kind of promised, and with those words from the jury, you can imagine that I'm gonna send you my address afterwards, so you can send me one, okay?
Excellent. I'll keep that in mind.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, team. Thank you.
And then we're up to the second category, and that is participatory architecture and infrastructure. And as a judge, oh, I'm so sorry. We're still looking at your prize.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we still needed to look at the price. So you need to come to Amsterdam North to get your prize. But you can also see it over there. But if you want to see it in the correct way, you should come to Amsterdam. So hopefully see you soon someday in Amsterdam. Thank you so much. I think he's already gone. I was a little bit too quick. This is me just being enthusiastic about all the other categories. So we're going to the second one, as I already said, the participatory architecture and infrastructures. And as a member of the jury, if I'm correct, we have Susa Pop. Susa, are you there? Yeah, I can already see you. Hi there.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, I'm fine.
Okay, nice to hear.
Yeah.
Could you maybe explain us a little bit more about the category?
Yes, of course. So participatory architecture is a very important category of the Media Architecture Biennial, and it includes projects that have an impact, social and on the social and political life in the city, and empower citizens to become active participants in their communities. So this can be urban interventions and social interactions, encouraging all kinds of exchanges between the citizens. And it also includes digital hybrid community platforms for visualizations and common-based management of urban infrastructures, which catalyze participatory city making and tackle relevant issues of our society and sustainable ecosystems.
Well, then let's have a look at the three nominees.
It's a public media facade project where people on the main square of Linz can participate and become part of an artwork. It's a large screen on the main facade of the Art University building, and when people place themselves in front of the screen at a certain distance, they see themselves projected on the screen, but they are composed out of thousands of little ants.
We are fascinated by the fact that these ants symbolically represent something organized. And we have also a kind of mirroring issue with the public space. The city is like an ant nest suddenly.
SP Urban Art Connecta, it's a collaborative festival of urban transmission during lockdown. With the motto, it's necessary to imagine, to daydream, in order to enhance the human capacity to plan possible futures, the festival made use of the communication potential of the urban media to disseminate authorial and critical media art. The program was broadcast across 4 Brazilian cities using projectors from the apartment windows of artists and collaborators.
Haha! For the people who are just watching, you thought it's going to come again, but no, this is the moment where we take the golden envelope, where we have the winner. So let's make this a moment. So, the winner of the category Participatory Architecture and Infrastructures is, I don't have a drum or anything, so I can also only do it by myself to make it a little bit more, SP Urban Art Connecta. And we're not with a lot of people, but we have applause, of course. And we have Mariela here, right?
Yeah.
Hi, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was wondering, but not really expecting, so it's kind of a surprise. Thank you very much, and thank you for the. And also wanted to congratulate the other participants for the very interesting projects they have as well. So thank you.
Yeah, because all of the nominees, they're in that.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, we're great. Yeah, but still, you are the winner, and we do hope that we can all overcome the pandemic. Because also, if we didn't have one, we would be all here in this space right now. But that's not possible. But will the festival Urban Art Connecta nevertheless go on?
Well, actually, what I think we are in a. Sorry, could you please repeat it?
Yeah, because we have the pandemic now, and we were wondering if the festival can still go on or not.
No, the festival are not going on because, first of all, what I think is great about the project, it was really collaborative, and we had no sponsorship. All the artists send the videos, and we had only support to have the projectors. So, and the festival was more active during the phases of extremely lockdown, where nobody could be able to go to the streets, and everybody was really locked. So that was, I think, one of the most incredible collective and collaborative aspect of the festival. It's because the neighbors and people were really connected through the art. And most interesting of the project actually is that even we are still in a pandemic situation, and our vaccines are not going on as much as we wanted. Mm-hmm. The festival was important to enhance a new kind of protest, because what we call is the projector protest. So the projector process are still going on, and the festival emerged of the situation where people were going on the balconies to protest against the government, and then the Art Connecta and the festival started using these people on the balconies to connect them with art and critical and also very messages of better future and how can we hope and dream together in a very difficult situation.
Yeah, and if we think about that future, what are the future plans for the festival?
Actually, we had, it's not Art Connecta, we are changing how it's gonna call, because but we are planning, and we're pretty happy to announce that when all the vaccines and the people will be vaccinated, that in São Paulo, that will be about November, we will gonna have like a small edition with interactive art pieces in the squares, and to reoccupy the city using our bodies and ourselves as interfaces.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good to hear. Susa, can you maybe have a word about what the jury was thinking about this project?
Yes, of course. So the jury is very happy with the selection, of course, and we have the opportunity to award not just a single project, but a collective and collaborative festival across 4 Brazilian cities, connecting 50 media artists who use projections as artistic and critical experience and expressions during the pandemic in Brazil. And of course, we would also like to highlight the curatorial claim, which we all liked very much. It is necessary to imagine, to daydream, in order to enhance the human capacity to plan possible futures, as it was key in helping many overcome feelings of isolation over this past pandemic year. So thank you very much for this contribution.
Thank you.
Yeah, those are great. Yeah, great words to hear. And Martijn, we have a lot of projects that are from Brazil, even a keynote. What is so special about these projects?
Yeah, well, we had a keynote earlier this week from Guilherme Wisnik, who was also the curator of the Sao Paulo Biennale back in 2012. And what I found really interesting is how he described that public space in Brazil had actually been privatized for a long time. Most of it actually was, our public life took place inside shopping malls or gated communities. But he described over how the last maybe 10 years or so, a new generation of citizens, architects, designers, civic movements have also really started to reclaim the public spaces in the city. And I think media architecture played a really important part of that. And I think Marilia gave some really beautiful examples, especially during COVID, when lots of artists started to use projection mapping on buildings because you couldn't go out, but you could still beam all kinds of messages of hope, messages of protest on the buildings. And I saw some really beautiful pictures coming from various cities of Brazil where that happened.
Yeah, that's so wonderful that is something that I brought. We also have your prize, so let's watch the video from where you can find your prize if you're ever here in Utrecht or in Amsterdam. So once more, congratulations, and hope that one day when it's safe to travel again, you can come and actually see it in kind of real life. Then we are already, it's going so fast, at the 3rd category, and that is spatial media art. And the jury that we have is Tanja Reven-Ak. Hi, Tanja.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Very good, thank you. In Copenhagen.
In Copenhagen, nice. We're all around the world. I like that so much. Can you tell us a little bit more about this category?
Yes. I think there are artworks in all categories probably, but this is the category dedicated to media art. And the spatial media art projects are works that are produced within an artistic context at the intersection of architecture and media art. So they explore new media materials, media aesthetics, and I think these projects really seek to challenge perception of place and meaning making, and they evoke poetic situations of spatial experience. They what can you say, experiment with spatial experience. And what we see also how this category is forming, I think, is that there's a greater attention to human action and interaction, which is also becoming it has been a dimension of social aesthetics for many years, but we see this more present in the spatial media art category too now.
Yeah. Well, then let's have a look at the 3 nominees. this is the moment we've been waiting for. I see with tense faces. The moment that we go to the envelope again. I see all of you behind me. Hi there. Let's open it up. Don't want to keep you all waiting too long. So the winner of the category Spatial Media Art is Levenslicht. We're still going to clap.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Annabella. Hi there.
Yes.
Can you tell us what this project means to you?
Thank you very much. I'm Annabella, the representative of Studio Rooskar today. And we feel very precious to be here. And thank you.
Are you a little bit
overwhelmed?
You're overwhelmed, right? Yeah, I can see it, but that's okay. You are the winner, and we were wondering what the project means to you personally.
For Daan Roosgaarde, it's a wonderful project because we wanted to tell the story of the Holocaust and the victims of the Holocaust, and there were 170 municipalities who had the stones, and there were 104,000 victims, and it's so personal. There were people who were from the Holocaust who had a connection with it, a personal story. There were older people who were telling their children what it was about, and there was a lot of silence. There were many people, but there was also silence. It was, for everyone, it was a very personal story, and for Daan and for the studio, it was beautiful to see how the people were connected to the artwork and how the artwork connected with the space. And I was also wondering if I could get Daan, because he is also here, but we are very busy with different projects. So if you give me 2 minutes to get him, it would also be wonderful.
Okay, go and get him.
I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. Then I'm going to first check you, Martijn, because she's just gone for a moment. She's coming back. This is just life. It's okay. You have 2 minutes, that's what she said, to answer the question, because they're from the Netherlands. And how could you place them in the field of media architecture, Studio Roostergaarde? I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, this is the category Spatial Media Art, and if you look at the work of their studio, I think what they're doing is really interdisciplinary, right? On the one hand, it's artistic in the way that, as Tanja said, it brings out these sort of poetic qualities in public space. But a lot what they are doing, I mean, I've heard Daan speak a lot of times, and I think he really identifies with people like Buckminster Fuller, right? Sort of much more sort of an inventor type of guy who really takes on new technologies and see what kind of impact they can have in society. And I think a lot of his projects are not just poetic interventions, which they also are, but they are also forecasting sort of futures that are not here yet, sort of exploring what those technologies can be, sort of more speculative and telling stories about what we could have in society.
Well, there you are, Daan. We were just talking about you. Can you already hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, we were just talking about you. Hi. Good that you're there. Only positive words from Martijn. Congratulations at first.
Thank you. Thank you.
Annabella was also already telling us a little bit more what the project means to all of you. And I was wondering, because it's a new sort of monument, and how did this idea come about, that to make this in the way that it came?
Yeah, thank you. The Levenslicht is such a special project because, of course, it's literally something that happened which is beyond the words. This is what the Holocaust, family of the Holocaust victims tell me as well. And so when we were asked by the National Committee to design something for that, one can wonder, can we innovate? Are we allowed to change something there? I think we said yes to it because the power of design and the power of creative thinking created a place. At the opening, it was so busy, but so quiet. People started to wonder, to think, to share stories. These 104,000 memorial rocks glowing and then spreading to the 170 locations where Roma, Jews, and Sinti were arrested, deported, and murdered. it generated a place of stories. And I think that was really beautiful, to work on that in that way. Yeah, it was very humbling. And also I want to thank the family of the Holocaust survivors and for their trust that they gave us in the design process as we were sort of making prototypes and listening to their feedback. So it was a very humbling process, absolutely.
Yeah, I can imagine. Tanja, do you maybe also have some words for Dan from the jury about this project?
Yes. This is an extraordinary project, contemplative and with immense emotional gravity. I think that went through the minds of all the jury members. So the project explores this very subtle media aesthetic whereby simplicity and careful execution generate this powerful expression. It is simple as such, and still it's not simple. It's very, very thought about. And as an art manifestation, it achieves to connect to deep memories and very complex emotions that are traveling through human minds and bodies and souls through generations and also across places, which I think is something very beautiful in the project. And then not least, it activates, as Dan also mentions, it activates a strong sense of communality. And I think even a sense of intercorporeality. You are present beyond mind. You're present with your very body and neurons and everything that vibrates in you in this shared experience. And I think these kinds of experiences we are very much in need of right now.
Yeah, thank you. And I promise you all that this award will not be decoration on our kitchen table, but an activation to do even more of these type of projects.
Yeah. Well, it's not even possible to put it on the kitchen table. We're just going to have a look at your award. And since you live in the Netherlands, you're actually able to, well, as soon as you can, go and visit your award. So let's just see where you can find it.
Nice.
Again, congratulations, Dan, and also say bye to Annabella for us, okay?
Yeah, thank you. Great. Thank you.
Have a nice weekend already. Something to celebrate. The fourth category is future trends and prototypes. And again, we have one jury member, and that is Filippo Lodi. Hello, Filippo.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great.
The sun is shining where you are.
Yes, I'm in your same city, though.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, you're probably inside, but you don't see it.
Yeah, in the studio here is really dark, so I was like, where are you? I need to be there. But when I go outside, I know that the sun is shining. That's something good to know. The category is future trends and prototypes. Can you tell us a little bit more about this category?
Yes, this category, I think it's a very fun one, or I love so much the kind of possibility discussions of what these type of projects can shed light onto, as it talks about the future, it talks about things that we do not have completely resolved, and therefore it questions different uses of technology, different uses of how we can combine maybe robotic elements, how can we experiment on the methods, what are the right ideas. And the projects are of different natures. They may be more speculative, more conceptual, more technological oriented. So there's a lot into it.
Well, let's have a look at the nominees. Here it is, the golden envelope. I'm trying to make it like take my time, because I already see tense faces, like, who is it, who is it? So I'm just going to take my time, and it's extra exciting for you guys. So, me opening the envelope, taking out the card, and I have a winner here. For the category Future Trends and Prototypes, the winner is Novartis Pavilion, or Pavilion.
Yeah.
Pavilion. We have a whole group of people there, and if I'm correct, also Bettina and Valentin are there. Is that correct?
Yes, that's us.
Yes, okay. So exciting. I think I see there are happy faces under the masks, right?
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
Good to see. Why has it been important for you to design a zero media facade?
To be honest, I mean, this is something we think should be the future. And this is the only way to go on with our projects, to find solutions that things can be more sustainable in the future. So this was always our vision, and we are very happy that we can make it happen soon. End of this year, we will be the building will be finished, and yeah, we are super happy that it happens. And also the client is with us, Reto is with us, and it always needs a brave client to do such innovative things.
Yeah, well then congrats also to the client too. And is this going to be a serial product, or how will that be?
The big advantage of the technology we use, the organic photovoltaic, is that it's easy to adapt. So for sure, this is a framework, this is a basis we can work with, but the big advantage is that we really can adapt it to any kind of surface, any kind of structure. So for sure, there will be future or other projects in the future, but they will look definitely different.
Yeah, that's exciting. Filippo, do you have a word from the jury about the winner?
The jury had a lot of discussions about this category, obviously a very tough one. But I think a lot of the synergies that aligned were into resolving very beautifully something that has a strong technological component, but also that reflects a lot the way that how we think about energy, and how the whole topic of media reflects on the value of the use of electricity and the use of and how do we relate with the planet in itself. And all these are encapsulated very brilliantly in this solution.
Yeah, Gernot, why is this so special?
Yeah, I also like the fact that it's a zero energy pixel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So on the one side, it's a really high-tech thing. It's based on organic solar cells. It's translucent, and therefore it also provides new aesthetical opportunities.
Yeah.
So you can do a lot of things with that. As Valentin has said, it can be a framework, and obviously there will be more things like that to show up. And actually we don't look at who is doing the project. Yeah. So we first evaluate the project and then look who has made it. But in many cases, it turns out to be an iArt project, I have to say.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they actually have won, I think, the third time now.
Mm-hmm.
So really, congratulations, guys. We really love your work.
Well,
Thank you.
Those are nice words to hear before you start the weekend. And you also have an award, and it's somewhere either in Amsterdam or in Utrecht. And we're going to watch where you can find it. You can also find it at home, but it will be a mess. So if you come, when it's safe to travel again, you should come to the Netherlands and go to Amsterdam or Utrecht. And then you can see it how it should be. And that looks like this. It's, I must say, the most beautiful part of Amsterdam, Amsterdam North. And I don't only say that because I live there. I do. But if you're here, come to Amsterdam North and then you can find your prize. Have a nice weekend, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then we're already up for the last category, last but not least. And that's the category More Than Human Architecture. And we have someone from the jury again, and that is Dave Colangelo. Hello, Dave.
Hello, everyone. Hello from Toronto.
Hello. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah, really enjoying the show so far. I love the design of the awards, and just all the nominees and the winners. Such incredible work, and really so hard for the jury this year because of it wasn't just quantity, it was quality as well. So just an amazing year for media architecture.
Yeah, I can imagine, because if we have it, if we're talking about this category, More Than Human Architecture, could you explain a little bit more about what does it mean? What is it?
Sure. So this category really is about projects that explore the relation between the human and non-human in the city. And, the non-human can be a lot of different things, right? It could be ecological, it could be technological. So it takes that definition quite broadly. And it's thinking about either directly or indirectly, ecologically and socially sustainable urban futures. So really that's the focus of this category.
Okay, well, those are the 3 last nominees we're going to watch today for this category. So let's have a look. Those were the ones from category 4. We really like them, but we already saw them. So we're going to try and see if we can get the correct ones, because I saw faces like, this is not my category. No, that's correct. We need the nominees from the category More Than Human Architecture. So let's see if we have the correct ones now. 3 of them we should have.
Actually, we wanted to see the price.
The price of?
Okay.
Something's still going wrong.
No.
We do have the video, so it's coming in a bit. Yeah. Because we have 3 nominees, and I have an envelope here, so there is going to be a winner, but not before we saw all of the 3 nominees. And I cannot spoil anything yet. I could have a little sneak, just for me to already, or is that not a nice thing to do? Ooh. I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm just looking if there's a possibility that we can have the video of the last ones, and I think it's almost there. We're almost getting there. Don't worry, guys. This is just because it's live and something went wrong, so we messed it up. There it is.
How can we show the beauty of agriculture? How can we make the farmer the hero? And how can light help crops to grow more sustainably?
GROW is actually inspired by scientific research. It shows specific light recipes can enhance plant growth and reduce the use of pesticide up to 50%.
So those were the 3 nominees. It took a while, but we saw the correct ones. And I have the last golden envelope, which I'm going to open. And I did a little sneak, but I couldn't see it yet. So it's also a surprise for me. The winner in the category More Than Human Architecture is Touching Night Skies. We are so happy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was like the for the last person, like a really enthusiastic. I saw a leg there. That's good. That's good. I was wondering what inspired you to create this installation.
Light pollution is a huge topic for me for a long time already. And the topic of the Luminale was digital romantics. And part of the romantic in a city is that you watch the beautiful skyline of a city and looking around the world, you have so many night skylines of cities that are made to look gorgeous and that are animated in some way or the other. But another sujet of the romantic is also a starry night sky. And where can we experience something like that, where you are under stars and that are so near that you can really feel, or they seem that you can touch them. And creating a piece that combines both of that and also bring together these 2 notions of romanticism in urban areas was kind of the starting point, and create an experience without light for a light festival was another part of that idea that was behind that project.
Yeah, I can imagine. And you can see that a lot of effort was taken to create this space of darkness. And what do you hope that the media architecture community takes away from this project?
Maybe a bit more consciousness. Mm-hmm. Because especially looking at media facades and looking at cities like Shenzhen or Hong Kong or even New York, there's a lot of architecture that is illuminated. But there are ever more architects and designers that are conscious about these topics, that design illuminations and facades that are only illuminated for a certain amount of time, that are not as bright as previous facades or something like that. So bringing out there that it's a chance to be conscious about the environment and about art at the same time. Maybe that's something that people can take away.
Yeah, well, they all heard you now, so I hope they're going to take something from your wise words with that. Dave, do you have a word from the jury about the winner?
Sure, and I'll just say, I think it was kind of, it was funny that the videos got mixed up, because it actually reminded me in many ways this was a difficult process for the jury as well, because so many of the projects could fit under so many of the categories. And I think this speaks to kind of the developing sort of nuance and maturity of the field where projects are doing so many different things, right? It's not just things that are beautiful or engaging or environmentally sustainable. You know, and this is a great example of that. Although, you know, what struck us about this project was its simple and powerful message, and it's kind of addition by subtraction, right? Thinking about media architecture in an unexpected way to create a kind of framing device for seeing the world differently. So it really was striking for us and really set it apart. And we congratulate the winner and all the other nominees for really inspiring us with their work.
Yeah, because Martijn, More Than Human, it's a new category. And why and what did the project in this category add to the conversation if you have it, if you're talking about media architecture?
Yeah, we decided to actually add this category after the last Biennale that took place in Beijing, because already there the conversation started, brought up amongst others by a paper by Marcus Foth and Glenda Caldwell, who were starting to question also some of the media architecture. And not just them. I mean, there's a broader criticism that, wow, those facades, you know, what about the energy? What about the light pollution? What about how does that disturb maybe the ecology in the city, apart from the humans who live there? And yeah, we thought we should really take that criticism serious, right? And move away from the bedazzlement and the spectacle that media architecture can also be. And sometimes that is really entertaining and engaging, but really have an eye for sort of the positive force that we hope that media architecture can contribute to more resilient cities, to ecologically sound cities. So that's why we wanted to bring in this new category to really highlight all those kind of projects.
Yeah. That's nice. Tobias, you also won a prize, and it's not a prize we can actually like send to you. You need to come and get it. You can also watch it at home. It's made by Sander Veenhoff, and if you come to the Netherlands, you either have to go to Amsterdam or to Utrecht, and then you can find your prize, and it looks like this. So congratulations, and after I saw you cheering, I think you're going to have a wonderful weekend. So those were already the 5 categories that we had. So that was it for the awards, and there's more that you can find. Gernot, where can people find more about it?
Yeah, you can go to the website awards.mediaarchitecture.org. There you will find all the nominees and the winners, not only from this year, but also from previous years.
Yeah.
So there's actually a history of 20 years of media architecture that you can find on this website.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that you can also filter it. You can see in what happened in 2001 or what happened in Australia.
Yeah.
So check out yourself. The website was developed by my co-chair Juan Carlos Carvajal. You've met him yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. So see and go and see yourself.
Yeah.
It's really interesting projects there.
Yeah. Well, it's weekend, so if you have time, go and check it out. I want to thank everyone who submitted a project, all the nominees, all the jury, people from all over the world, the people here we want to thank, of course. And we'll see each other again in 2023. And really, I tried to persuade Gernot to already tell me where it will be in 2023. I looked with puppy eyes, nothing worked. He wasn't going to tell me. So if you want to know, you need to stay tuned here, because there will be a reveal where the next awards will be in 2023, right? So just stay here, stay tuned. Thank you so much for coming in, and hopefully see each other again in 2023.